It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for Sunday, September the 3rd. I'm Michael Groff. Yesterday, a miserably oppressive, tropical, soupy kind of day in the valley, a high of 102 degrees. It felt every bit of that and more. Today, very similar, with very little rain chances to help cool us off. When will we have rain chances back in the forecast? Well, we'll talk about that and everything else related to our weather as well, including a look at the tropics. And we'll do it right now as we look outside at 8:35 a.m. We've got partly cloudy skies in the valley at this time, 88 degrees at Sky Harbor, dew points at 68, humidity 52%. The winds are light and the barometer is steady. Temperatures around the area this morning, 75 Fort McDowell, 79 at Buckeye. Most of us in the 80s at this hour. Here's the water vapor satellite view. High pressure north of the state. Tropical depression Lydia now off the northwest coast of Baja, and plenty of moisture has circulated around that throughout much of Arizona and southeast California. And that's why we have the elevated humidity and the cloud cover. Here's the watch warning map. Excessive heat warnings in effect for much of California up into the Pacific Northwest. Some heat advisories as well. And fire danger, elevated fire danger, in fact, extreme fire danger in parts of the Intermountain West, Northern Rockies, and out into the Plain States, the Dakotas, and parts of Nebraska. Here's the convective outlook, a marginal risk of severe storms up around Hibbing and Duluth, Minnesota. Otherwise, no organized areas of severe weather. We're in the green here in Arizona, so we have a chance of some thunder, and we'll look at that in just a moment. Check out the tropics real quick. This is the latest on Hurricane Irma, located over the central Atlantic basin. Starting to take on some drier air, it looks like on this view, and a little bit less organized than we've seen. But it's been wobbling back and forth between Category 2 and Category 3 status. The latest advisory has it as a Category 3, maximum sustained winds, 115 miles per hour. A continued westerly, maybe even slightly southwesterly track is expected over the next day or so, and then eventually turns west to northwest, north of Puerto Rico and Hispaniola, approaching the eastern Bahamas by late week. And where it goes from there is still anybody's guess, but the models are starting to come into better agreement, unfortunately, with the ultimate track of this storm. The GFS ensemble, there's 21 members here, and many of them, unfortunately, take this somewhere on the U.S. East Coast. One of them has it down there toward Florida, taking it right up the Florida Peninsula, a couple more into the Carolinas. The ensemble mean, represented by the black squares there, pretty much takes it right to the border of North and South Carolina. So with a few more models putting it into New England, but none of the models seem to be curving it out to sea at this time. The Europeans, some of those models do, but this is starting to look like a problem for the East Coast. But it's still way, way too early to tell exactly where this is going to make landfall, and still time for this thing to recurve, so we'll have to see. Let's talk about our weather in more detail, and of course, Irma will show up on these model runs too as we go and check it out. This is the GFS, the 06Z run, valid at 5 o'clock Mountain Standard Time today. High pressure north of the state, weakening tropical depression Lydia to our west. And some of that moisture moving across Southern California, a few showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm, LA, San Diego, and across Imperial County this morning. Will just be partly cloudy, warm, humid, highs about 101 to 104. And it's just going to feel tropical out there today. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, no significant chance of storms. Our chance of rain isn't zero, but just not going to put it in the forecast. Lows tonight, mainly in the 80s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy skies, a little less humid. Some drier air will work in from the east. High pressure continues north of the state. High temperatures warm up a couple of degrees. We'll be in the 103 to 106 range. Tuesday, a short wave moves around the periphery of this ridge. A well-advertised scenario, and it still looks like we'll have an upswing in shower and thunderstorm activity on Tuesday. We'll say a 20% chance of storms in the valley. High temperatures, 103 to 106. Wednesday, a continued slight chance of showers and storms with some unsettled weather around here and partly cloudy skies. Thursday, somewhat drier air once again comes in. Still can't rule out an isolated late afternoon or evening shower or storm. We'll say a 10% chance here. Highs 104 to 108. Same thing on Friday. And Saturday, the GFS is advertising a trough, although it's not showing a closed low anymore, but a little shortwave trough off the west coast, which may help to draw additional southerly flow and moisture into the region for an upswing in shower and thunderstorm activity next weekend, but that still remains to be seen. I'm not ready to totally buy into that scenario just yet. Let's go out to a week from today. This is Sunday, September the 10th. And we have shortwave troughing coming through. This would turn our winds aloft around out of the southwest, start to dry us out. Temperatures would start to back off as well. That's some good news. The bad news is Irma approaching the East Coast. We'll zoom in on this a little bit more specifically. Here's the GFS Monday morning, September 11th, 8 o'clock Eastern time. And it's got the center of Irma, a monster storm, by the way, 900 millibar low. Wow. Located just west of Oak Island, somewhere near Holden Beach, North Carolina. Meanwhile, the European doesn't bring this onto the coast, doesn't make landfall until Tuesday morning, the 12th of September, very early, somewhere around Southport. Still bad news, either scenario. You start to see some consistency here. The timing is different, but the general placement of this storm is fairly similar between the global models this far out, and that is a disturbing trend. However, this does not mean that the storm is going to make landfall in the Carolinas. Doesn't even mean that it's going to hit the East Coast, but we're starting to see better consistency, and certainly all eyes need to be on Irma going forward. All right, let's go out to the end of the forecast period. This is Tuesday, the 12th of September. The GFS has the remnant circulation of Irma moving northwestward. Has it somewhere near Indianapolis. Meanwhile, around here, shortwave troughing, drier air coming in, westerly flow. And it looks like this might be the winding down point in our monsoon. Could be the end of the monsoon season for us because we are getting toward mid-September at this point. Let's talk about temperatures coming off of the GFS ensemble through the period. We keep it above normal for quite some time. Temperatures gradually lowering, though, as we go toward the middle part of the month, as you would expect. And that's going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video, back here tomorrow morning. Thanks, as always, so much for watching. Really do appreciate it. If you like our videos, be sure to subscribe to us so that whenever we post a brand new one, you'll get the notifications. Otherwise, be safe, stay cool out there. Have a great Sunday.